Good day, fellow observers. Today we are going to do a key food test for version 12.5.4.2. It's gonna be a 30-minute drive, 17 miles. Let me activate FSD. Okay, good. Now we are at a stop here, turning left. Okay, good. Good. Oh. So that car was fast. So that was a disengagement, and it's always good to be double checking things because of blind spots. Okay, so we are here, just slowing down.
In 500 feet, turn right onto 223rd Street.
Okay, good. So we are advancing. It took some time for FSD to move out. I'm not sure why.
Now turn right onto 223rd Street.
Okay, now we turn right. Okay, good. Slow down here. But the thing is, I don't think that slowdown was...
Now turn left onto Northern Boulevard.
I mean, like, the stop was not needed. It could be just moving, but very slowly. That's what I would have done. Okay, so now we have a green here. Sometimes this is difficult. Okay, I think we have a window here. Okay, nice.
Now turn right to take the Cross Island Pkwy South ramp.
Okay, good. Okay, so this is a busy expressway at the moment. Now let's see if we find a window. I think there's a car on my left side on the next lane trying to give away, so shout out to that car. Now let's see if FSD will make a lane change, because as what I've been mentioning in prior tests, that all of the cars here on the rightmost lane are 99.9% going to the exit that is incoming, which is to I-495. But our exit is the one that comes after this, and it seems like FSD is not making any lane changes. I don't see any blue colors here, so I guess we'll stay here until we pass by this exit.
In 1 mile, take exit 29EW on the right toward Grand Central Parkway.
Okay, so I think we can go straight ahead. All right, good. Okay, I don't see the point of making a lane change here, but good thing it also because of the van that just made a lane change to the middle lane as well. Now we are slowing down. Okay, good. We are making a lane change here. Nice. That was quick lane change.
Now take exit 29EW on the right. In 500 feet, take the ramp on the left toward Grand Central Parkway. Now take the ramp on the left toward Grand Central Parkway.
So it did that premature left turn signal. So it is still present for this version.
In 500 feet, take the Grand Central Parkway ramp on the left. Now take the Grand Central Parkway ramp on the left.
Okay, we postponed a lane change because all the lanes are slowing down. But FSD is still planning to make a lane change. Okay, good lane change. Okay, good lane change. Well, cancel that good lane change. So I thought FSD had it in the bag and then it suddenly tried to jerk to the right. So I think if for this version, what I'm gathering is that if it's a straightforward case, it's very smooth. But if you have those kind of fringe case, but I don't even think that was a fringe case. That's just a car that was close by right behind. Then FSD tried to go back to where it came from. It's almost there on the new lane. So that's what I'm noticing. So we continue straight on. And I'm monitoring for this strip. Are we still gonna see the sudden slowdown somewhere down the road? So let's see if that happens again. Okay, good slowdown here because traffic up ahead are slowing down. Okay, so we have a sudden drop here. It's now 40 from 55, now it's 35. So I'm pressing the accelerator. So it's around exit 26 of Grand Central Parkway. And now we're back at the 63s. So that's interesting. Okay, good adjustment here. FSD didn't really ramp up the acceleration for that merging SUV. So we are 12 minutes away, 8.1 miles from the destination.
In 1 mile, keep left to stay on Northern State Parkway east toward eastern Long Island.
Slowdown. I felt FSD just doing a brief brake for that merging SUV.
Now keep left to stay on Northern State Parkway east.
Okay, good slowdown here. Now we are making a lane change. Okay, good. So I'm gonna increase my speed because there's a car right behind me that is also going fast. I do think FSD will make a lane change. Okay, so now it does. Alright, good. Okay, I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why it did that. Maybe because there was a car. But I saw my mirror here on the side. It was a clear one. It could be that the white car actually was the white car from the rightmost lane trying to go to the same middle lane. So I think that was it.
In 1 mile, take exit 33 on the right onto Wantagh Pkwy South toward Jones Beach.
Okay, now we make a lane change. Okay, good decision here. Sometimes FSD will not take that opportunity, but instead advance and then find a window from there.
Now take exit 33 on the right. In 1,000 feet, take the Wantagh Pkwy South ramp on the left. Now take the Wantagh Pkwy South ramp on the left.
Okay, good. This is straightforward merge because it has a dedicated
In 1
lane.
mile, take exit W2E on the right toward Old Country Road, then make a right U-turn onto Carmen Avenue.
Okay, FSD is giving way. So FSD was a bit unsure there. Like it goes to the left lane, but then it wants to go back to the right lane. But shout out to this car though, like just giving us enough room.
Now take exit W2E on the right.
Okay, so let's see.
Now make a right U-turn onto Carmen Avenue.
So that was an iffy exit. That's interesting. Like it's not going to
Now turn right onto Old Country Road.
to the off-ramp flush in, and there was no reason for it not to. So that's something that I'm noticing. That's, I think, different from prior versions. Okay, there's an oncoming SUV. I think after this we can. Alright, good.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Levittown Parkway. Now turn right onto Levittown Parkway.
Okay, so good lane change here. Going to the right, turn bay. Now we go ahead. Okay, now we have a green light.
In 1,000 feet, turn right. Now turn right.
Now we are arriving at the destination. Okay, so I'm disengaging now because I don't know where this pickup truck is going, but
Now your destination is on the right.
so let me just give my takeaways. We started off from a parked state by the hydrant, and FSD was able to move out of that. And I noticed that on the stop to make a left, I think FSD did all it can to make sure that there was no oncoming cars. But by the time that it crossed the crosswalk, there was a fast vehicle from the left that just popped right away, and so I pressed the brakes. So that was a human intervention there. Now that intersection though, I would have to say that even for me, there is always a blind spot there for most of the time because of how cars are parked. So it's more of an FYI when you use FSD, and when you notice there are blind spots, make sure to really be sure that there is a clear path for the car. And then we head straight and went to the all-way at the end, and FSD was advancing, but then there was a car that stopped, and then FSD kind of stopped and then continued moving, making the right turn. But if it was me, I would just like slow down, not really fully stop, because there's no other way that oncoming car is gonna move except for making a left. So that's just my take. And then FSD went on straight, and on making a left to Northern Boulevard, FSD was able to find a window that it was able to, I think, see, because the cars, majority of the cars that were oncoming actually had right turn signals, so they're going to the right anyway. And then FSD found a window to make a left, and I was still unsure at that point, but I realized that it was a real window, so I just let it be, and FSD was able to make that move. And then it made a right towards the ramp to Cross Island Pkwy, and it was able to merge, and shout out to the car that gave way for that. Also, FSD stayed on the rightmost lane initially until it passed the Long Island Expressway exit, and then it went straight. And the thing is, it tried to make a lane change to the middle lane, but then postponed it and went back to the rightmost lane. I'm not sure what was the rationale for that. And then also FSD made an exit, and we were able to reproduce the early left turn signal that could be interpreted as FSD going back to Cross Island, but actually that left turn signal is for the keep left at the fork ahead. Always reproduces that, and for this version it did as well. So I'm gonna track that and see at which version it got resolved. So that's something that I'm also curious about. And then we went ahead to make a left to keep left at the fork. FSD was able to go through that and merge to Grand Central Parkway. And initially it had a postponement of lane change to the middle lane, but it found a window up ahead, and so we went to the middle lane, and FSD also moved to the passing lane. And on exit 26 of Grand Central Parkway, if you guys are testing FSD and you're in the area, it's always at that spot where the speed decreases. Initially it was the actual speed limit that decreases, but now it's the auto speed setting speed limit that decreases. It started off from mid 50s, went to 50, 40, 45, and as low as I think 35. But I was already pressing the accelerator at that point just to counterbalance the speed decrease. So we went on straight ahead after that. Then we went to keep left at the fork towards Northern State Parkway, and FSD after that made a lane change to the leftmost lane, and I had to increase the speed limit because there was a car right behind me that was fast and actually faster than me, so I just trying to match that, and also the cars up ahead, and eventually it did. Now FSD though made a lane change to the right lane, and it had, I think it was that it was unsure, like made a right lane, but maybe also that FSD is just being sure, because when I made eventually a successful lane change to the middle lane, I saw that there was a white car that's also making a lane change to the middle lane, I think few cars behind me. So maybe at that time that FSD was trying to make a lane change with the postponement, it saw that there's another car that's trying to do that same lane change at the same exact location. So I might have to review that video and see if it was just FSD being unsure, or maybe it's actually avoiding something like another car. So FSD continued straight, made a lane change to the rightmost lane, and exited towards to Wantagh Pkwy. Now what's interesting though, we actually encountered merging cars on the right after merging, and FSD tried to make a lane change to the left lane, but then there was a car close by on that left lane. But the thing is, it made a partial commit to the left lane and then tried to go back without I thought it was actually avoiding the merging cars, but then it still went back straight away. So I had to like press the accelerator just so it would go straight, and I was ready to disengage, but I didn't have to because it was doing what I wanted, wherein it was just stay on the right lane and not crisscrossing other lanes, and then just be fast. So that's what it did. I had to do though the accelerator press. Now we drove for I think a mile or something before we exit, and what I noticed on exit is that FSD doesn't go flush into the off ramp, which is kind of weird because I only would expect that if there's a lot of traffic or something like that, but there was no traffic and FSD wasn't able to position itself well on that spot. So that's something that is new to me, and I think even for other versions it doesn't go as far as that. Usually the pet peeve would be it will try to exit on the flush into the off ramp, but the speed is kind of slow. In here, FSD was actually with a good speed slowing down, but then it wasn't sure, tried to make it's partially on the off ramp and partially on the rightmost lane. So that was an iffy maneuver for me for this version. So I just want to point that out. And also I noticed that the time it takes for it on stop, I think it's becoming more reasonable. There are times that it would just go because I think it stopped already as the second vehicle and it saw there was a room immediately, and I think that's how FSD does it at the moment. So those are my my observations for that turns on stop. So I think that's interesting. There might be some tweaks that's been going on for this version. So as we continue on, we went to Old Country Road, was able to make a right to Levittown Parkway, and then cross some green lights, and then eventually went into the parking lot. But the thing is, it stopped because there was a pickup truck that I don't know where it wants to go. Does it want to exit, or does it want to go another round to where I'm going? So FSD stopped and I just disengaged there, and I didn't reactivate because we're already here. So those are all my takeaways for this test, and if you find this video helpful or of value, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!